This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So we'll start now. So today we'll be discussing about one of the smart shapes. So that smart shape is weight shape. So weight shape comes as a part of the smart shapes. So basically the shapes are divided into three types: basic shapes, smart shapes, and advanced shapes. So weight shape comes as a part of smart shape, right? So basically the functionality of smart shape is something like this. During your transaction processing, during your work object processing, if you wanted to wait for some time and then continue with your execution process, then we have to use wait shape. Example, when you are running your work object or your case, so you wanted to wait for 10 minutes. Assume that this is the use case, right? So this 10 minutes you wanted to wait because it might be like a child case wants to progress further, or you wanted to get some update from the child cases and all the stuff. So for some reason you wanted to wait, or you wanted to stop your transaction processing and wait. Okay, so in that case you have to use wait shape. So the use cases might be different. So maybe you have parent case and you have child case. So parent case should not close until the child case is closed. So no, there are few instances, unless child case is closed, you cannot close the parent case. Assume that this is the use case. Then your parent case is completed, it is about to complete. Whatever the things that parent case wants to do, it has done, and child case is still under execution. Now what you have to do? You have to wait till the child case is completed. When once the child case is completed, then the parent case should complete. So in this case also you have to wait, right? See, there are two types of waits. Basically, a wait shape can handle two kinds of things. One is hardcore time. So what is hard-coded time? Like it can be like 10 minutes, okay, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, something like this. One day, something like this. So what it will do, your parent or the transaction, the case will wait for whatever the time that you have configured on the wait sheet. So whatever the time that you have configured on the wait sheet, it will wait for that amount of time, and then it will proceed or it will continue. So this type, this is one of the waits, so which we will not be using much. In real time scenarios, no one will wait this hard coded amount of time. So there is another type of wait, case dependency. I was telling you this use case, right? Parent case and child case. So whenever between two cases, if there is a dependency, like the parent case wants to close until and unless the child case is closed, or it can be vice versa also. It can be in reverse way also. Child case cannot close until the parent case is closed. That depends upon your requirement. So basically, if you want, if you have some kind of different dependency between two cases, either parent is waiting for a child or child is waiting for a parent. So at any point of time, so if you are waiting for another case, then that type of wait is called as case dependency. Okay. So example, parent case has to wait till child case is resolved, completed. Till the status of the child case reaches to resolved, completed. It need not to be always resolved. It can be of any status. It can be in progress. It can be inapproved. Any status that you define, right? So you can wait this kind of dependency between two cases. So you can wait in your case by using wait sheet. So these are basically two use cases that we have. Right? So now I'll show you how to configure the weight shape. Login. So we have two cases: leave application and HR process. Right? So now the point here is leave application, or let's take a different case. Right? Let's create two different test case types. Parent case is creating a case type. This is parent case type. So I'll add a couple of stages and process and assignments. This is parent stage 1. Parent stage 1. Under this, I'll rename this parent process 1. Parent assignment. Right? So I'll add stage 2. Parent stage 2. This is parent process 2. Then assignment 2. Click on save. Right? So now what I do is, before, see how the execution starts, it will execute stage 1. Once it encounters stage 1, it will go to process 1. In that it will assign. It will execute this assignment. Right? Once this assignment is completed, immediately it will go to second stage and it will go to parent assignment 2. Once this is completed, it will close the case. Right? So here basically I am executing two assignments: parent assignment 1, parent assignment 2. Right? So I'll execute this. So before, after completing parent assignment 1, I wanted to go to parent assignment. Right? So in between these two things, I wanted to wait for some hard coded amount of time. Assume that this is the use case. I wanted to wait for 1 minute or 30 seconds or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 1 hour or 1 day. So if you wanted to, if you have this kind of requirement, so basically you have to add wait. So click on plus tab. How to add small shift. So you can click on plus tab, go to more and click on automations. See, there is an option called automations. Click on this automations. So in that, come bottom of the screen, so there is something called as wait. Click on this wait. Click on select. Once you click on this, so your weight is added and its corresponding property panel is displayed here, right? See what type of weight it is. I'm showing you two types of weight: case dependency and the time. So if you want to have some hard coded amount of time, then you have to use timer. Now it is asking you for certain time. Okay, I wanted to wait for, say for example, I wanted to wait for 2 minutes. You can give 2 minutes. You can give some reference date and time also. So you have time field, right? So basically you can create time field and you can give that. So I'm giving 2 minutes. Click on save. Let's run and see. Click on done. See now parent assignment one. So basically you are at first stage parent assignment one. On the first step of your process, parent assignment. Okay, now see the point responding to the assignment for parent assignment. After this, it is going to wait. Right? Let's click on advance this case. Once you click on advance this case, so thank you. The next step in the case has been routed appropriately. So click on actions, click on refresh. The point here is await dependency to be fulfilled. So default at pega.com. So now what here the point is, so it is actually waiting. It is waiting. So it went into wait mode, right? So now here click on begin. So now you can see this. The process is waiting until so and so time, until so and so time. Basically, it is taking the server time. Okay? Would you like to stop waiting and continue the process? It will wait for 2 minutes. 2 minutes is what we have configured. Once 2 minutes is completed, in the background, an agent will come and it will process the work object. Okay. Okay. So now here, now see here, if you wanted to wait, a user will have that option. The user have that option. So like, if you wanted to wait, you can wait. Otherwise, no wait and continue. If you wanted to continue with the next assignment, you can click on this. No, I will wait. Then you can click on this. All right, you have that option. How that option is configured here? See here on parent case. See there is some checkbox. User can choose to continue process. We have checked this checkbox, which means that at any time user will have an option to continue with the process. This is the meaning of this. So if you do not enable this option, then user at runtime will not have the option to continue. See, there is something like 1 day of wait. No, you don't want to wait for 1 day more of time. So whatever the purpose of wait is already completed, then you wanted to continue. Then you can click yes, continue. Then it will proceed. Right? So click on continue. It will go assignment and advance this case. That's it. Your case is closed. So basically, what is happening in sense? So in between two steps, if you wanted to wait, after you can wait. So this is the normal hard-coded bit, which we will not use. 90% of the time, we will not use hard-coded bit. We'll use case dependence. We'll use this option. So before I use this option, so I'll create two cases. One is the parent case, and also I'll create a child case also. How to create a child case? And I'll delete this. Under parent case, I'll go to parent case and I'll create a child case. This is parent case. Child case, you have to hover on this, click on this menu, click on child case. So this is the way you can create a child case. Child case, click on submit. Add life cycle. Child stage 1. I'll assignment two stages basically. Click on the stage. Child stage 2. child process 1, child assignment 1. Child process 2, child assignment. Click on save. So now how to instantiate a child case? So there are two ways of instantiation. One is automatic, as well as manual. I'll create it automatically as soon as the parent case is started. Let's click on save. So your child case will be started as soon as the parent case is started. So now you have parent case and you have child case. These two case types you have. Alright. Now I'll create some dependency between these two cases. So it is something like this. Parent case. This is child case. See, parent case, what it will do is it will wait. Parent case will wait till child is resolved completed. I'll wait till the parent case will wait till the child case is resolved completed. Okay, so this is the configuration that I wanted to do on the parent case. Now where will you configure the picture? Is it on parent or child? As per your understanding so far, on which case type you will configure the wait shape, either in parent case or child case? Who has to wait basically? Parent case has to wait or child case has to wait?
Parent has to wait.
Parent has to wait. So on which case that you have to configure? It parent. At what time you wanted to wait? See, on the parent case, this is first thing. First thing is I have to configure the wait shape on the parent case. This is there. At what time I have to wait? Is the question. Maybe after the first assignment is completed, I have to wait till the assignment is completed. Assume that this is the use case. Then where you have to configure the wait shape? After second assignment or first assignment? Shall I repeat this? I wanted to wait the parent case after the first assignment. Then where should I configure my wait shape? Easy, right? After wait shape, after assignment shape. Right? So I'll configure the wait shape after the first assignment. Click on step, click on more, go to automations, click on wait shape, click on select. So wait shape is there. Now what type you have to use? Either timer or case dependency. Obviously case dependency, right? Click on this. On what case you wanted to wait? See, click on this drop down. So all the list of case types are displayed here. I wanted to wait on till the child case. The dependency is on the child case. The child case is this one. So I choose this child case. So now you have two radio buttons to be resolved. It can be resolved completed, it can be resolved invoked or resolved rejected, something like this. If the state if the status of the child case is resolved dash of any, resolved completed, resolved rejected, resolved fulfilled, something. If the status is, see, I can call this child case as resolved when it starts with resolved dash, right? So now resolved completed, which means that to be resolved is the option that you have to choose. Now, if the requirement is instead of resolved completed, assume that approved is the status. Parent case will wait till the child case is approved with this status. When once the child case is reached with this status, till that I wanted to wait the parent case. then what option you have to choose? Here it is not resolved now. To reach status, that status is approved. That's it. You have to configure it in this way and you have to save it. See what if it is resolved, means you have to choose resolved option. If it is other than resolved, you have to choose the second radio button and you have to give the status name. What status that you wanted to wait till. Okay, that status you have to give and you have to save. That's it. It's very simple to configure. See here, on wait shape I've given the case dependency, on which case I have dependency, right? That case you have to choose from the drop down. I'll come back to these options later point of time. So for now, so which case type I wanted to wait dependency I have. So it is child case. So what is the status? It is resolved or it is to some custom status, to reach some status. So you have to choose either of the options according to your requirement, and that's it. Click on save. Oh, looks like some refresh is missing. I'll refresh and I will navigate it. So click on wait. To reach status, not to be resolved. Click on save. That's it. Shall we run in series now? So instantiation, what type of instantiation is this? It is automatic instantiation. So what's the purpose of automatic instantiation? Means that, so once the parent case is created, your child case also is created. Let's run the baby. Click on done. So your parent case P2 is created, and see here child case C7 is also created. Okay, let me make a note of this. P2 is created and C2 is created. I'm sorry, it is not C2, C7. P2 is the parent case, C7 is the child case, right? So the parent case, see here, the parent case, the first assignment is assignment 1. Now if I click on submit, continue, so it will go to wait. So let me click that. After this assignment, it will immediately go to wait. So click on this. Thank you. The next step in the case has been routed appropriately. So basically it is in wait shape. If you wanted to see that wait shape, so from my actions, click on continue process. So here it will show you the process is waiting for case A to be resolved. What is? The process is waiting for case A. See, this is something, there is a bug, I think. It should say child case to be resolved. Okay, but anyways. So this process will wait till the child case is resolved completed. What is the status of child case currently? It is new status. See here, child case C7 is in new status. Now what we'll do, so let's continue this. Click on this. Let's resolve complete this state. Let's resolve this particular child case. Okay. So advance this case. So it also has two assignments, child assignment 1 and child assignment 2, and advance this case. So all the assignments in the child case is completed. Still the status is new only, right? So see here, P2 is still waiting. P2 is still waiting because the status of the child case is new. So it is not resolved completed. So basically, child case doesn't have a status with resolved. So we did not configure accordingly. What we'll do is we'll go back to the child case. What we'll do is we'll resolve complete this. How to do resolve complete? Resolve the case. So on the resolution stage, you can resolve this case and see once you choose this radio button, it is resolved completed. Once all the child assignments are completed at stage 2, the status of this particular child case will be resolved completed. This is one way of updating the status. There are different ways of updating the status. That's a different story. So for now, we'll see with the resolution stage. So click on this. Resolve the case, make this status resolution stage with the status resolved completed. Just click on save. No, record stage. Click on refresh again. Resolve this case, resolve completed. Click on save. Saving is done. Now parent case, come back again, we'll run and see again. Save and run. I'm running the parent case. Done. See, P3 is the parent case. Status of P3 is new status. The status of C8 is a child case. This is also new status. Now, what we'll do is we'll proceed further. Advance this case will make parent case to wait on the child case. Let's click on continue process so that it will give you some message. The process is waiting for case A to be. It's not case A, it is child case to be resolved. Right? So would you like to stop waiting and continue the process? No, I don't want to continue the process. So now let's see from the stage. The stage. So currently the pointer is pointed to which shape? Wait shape. When once the child case is resolved completed, it will move from wait shape to the next stage, parent assignment 2. It will go to the second stage or second stage assignment. Okay. So let's open the child case. Guys, observe carefully. So click on begin. So once there are 2 assignments in the child case. If I complete these 2 assignments, the status of C8 would be resolve completed. Once the status of the child case is resolve completed, parent case will stop waiting and it will move to the second stage, second assignment. We'll do that. Click on advance this case. It went to second assignment. Once I click on this advance this case, what happens? It will close the child. So the status of the child will be resolved completed. So far it is new. Once I click on this, it will be resolved completed. Click on this. The status is resolved completed. Child case is resolved completed. Go back to P3. The parent case. What happened? Click on refresh. It's still waiting. Okay. Let's go back to the parent page. Oh, sorry, it is waiting on case A, not the child case. I'm sorry guys. The configuration is wrong. I have to wait on child case, right? I've given this. Let's run this again. I'm sorry. Show browsing, save and run. Parent case. Click on save and run. Click on done. So advance this case. Now it is waiting. Parent case is waiting. Click on continue process. So you can see that message. So see here, child case. The process is waiting for the child case to be resolved. Click on the child case. Resolve this child case. See, currently the child case is in child case assignment 1 and status is new. Advance this case. It is on assignment 2. The status is new. Once I close this assignment, the status of child case will be resolved completely. And the parent from wait, it will stop waiting and it will go to stage 2, assignment 2. Advance. See here, automatically everything has happened in the background. Your child case is resolved completed. It is resolved completed. The status of the child case is resolved completed, and the control from child case came back to the parent case. You got this point? The child case, the control is on the child case. So the child case is resolved completed. The control from the child case went back to the parent case, that is P4, and see here, assignment weight shape is completed. Currently, the control is on the parent assignment 2. It is on the parent assignment 2. Basically, what happened was the weight shape condition is satisfied. So once the weight shape condition is satisfied, so it will stop waiting and it will continue to the second assignment. So it came to second assignment. Alright. So this is about your case dependency weight. Any questions so far? If you have any questions, you can ask me.
The child case, I don't show the operator record as is showing the current operator Karthik in the parent assignment. Under the child case, if we want to display the operator, will it display automatically or do we need to configure?
Which one? This one?
The open assignment, under the open assignment.
No, open assignments are out of the box. This category is given out of the box by the system itself. We need not to do anything. You just have to run it. All the open assignments will be.
It is not showing the same for the child case.
So because there are no open assignments, right? All the child case assignments are completed. So no, we have closed all the child case assignments. So there are no open assignments here. So for that reason, it is not showing any open assignments. See this section, this part of the section, right? Open assignments. This will show you if there are any open assignments. So for parent, the parent assignment 2 is the open assignment on which it is showing that. For child case, it doesn't have any open assignments. It is not showing anything. It is just showing you the status, resolve completed status. Okay, so far no questions. Then we'll go to the parent case. Now see here, I've chosen the option any, and if you click on this drop down, there is something called as all. What do you mean by this? I'll tell you the significance of any or kind. Assume that you have a parent and you have child C1. Instead of one child, you have two childs. Now your parent case is waiting. Your parent case is waiting till all childs are resolved, completed. Assume that this is a use case. Parent case will wait, all the childs are resolved, completed. Then which option you have to use here? Any or all?
All.
We have to choose, in that case, we have to choose all options. That's the only point. Now, see here, P1 waits till any of the child case. Either of these child case reaches resolve completed, then parent case will come out of the wait shape. If this is your requirement, then what option you will choose from this particular drop down? Any. So basically, if there are multiple cases, multiple childs, if any of the child cases satisfying the condition, then the parent case will come out of the wait shape. So if your requirement is all the childs has to satisfy this condition, then you have to choose all. Got this? That's good. Let's see this. Let's see this all. Now let's go to all option, child case. Let's click on save. Now click on save and run. So what I do is I will create manual instantiation also, so that I can create multiple childs. or I can use create case smart shape also. Anything else? Just do a refresh and done. Click on save and run. Click on done. P5 has how many childs? Only one child, C10. So I'll add one more child under P5. Click on add work, click on child case. This is via manual instantiation. Child case C11 is created under P5. Just open this. Click on the. See now P5 has two childs, C10 and C11. Their two status is new. Now the configuration of the parent case weight shape is all. All means so far it has two childs, right? Once these two child cases are resolved completed, then the parent case will come out of the weight shape, right? So I'll advance this case. Once I advance this case, so what happens? It will go to weight. Parent case is on weight. Click on advance. So thank you. The next step in the case has been routed appropriately. Basically, it went to wait. See that clearly it says the process is waiting for all child cases. For all child cases to be resolved. See here, it is saying all. So now how many child cases it has? C11 and C10. Okay, click on this C11. I will resolve complete this. See, so far C11 is new status. Click on this. Now C11 is resolved completed. Go to parent case. Parent case is still waiting. See, you can see this. Under P5 you have C11 and C10. Your parent is still waiting. Click on this and see. The P5 has C11 has resolved completed, but C10 has new status. So as I said, all child cases still it is waiting. Now we'll take C10, which is a new status. We'll also make this case as resolved completed. Click on begin. So click on advance this case. Once I click on advance this case, so C10 will be resolved completed. So P5 it will come out of the weight shape and it will go to the next assignment. Stage 2, second assignment it will go. So let's see it will happen or not. Click on advance this case. See, C10 is also resolved completed, C11 is also resolved completed. Now, if you see the parent stage, under the parent stage, weight shape is completed and it went to the second stage, parent assignment 2. So, currently, the control is on parent assignment 2. Okay, that is the significance of all or any. Now, you do the same thing. Do the same thing with any. Quickly, I'll do this. Click on save and run. Let's close other previous cases. Click on done. So now you have C12. I'll add one more child. Click on add work. Child case. So two childs are created under parent P6. Let's click on begin. See P6 under P6, C12 and C13 are there with status new. So now see here, let's advance. Once we advance, what happens? It will go to 8. Parent will go to 8. Click on actions, click on continue process. See, the process is waiting for child case to be resolved. Okay, is waiting for child. So it is not saying all childs, it is saying just the child case. Okay, so either of these two child cases is resolved completed, then the parent will come out of. Wait, let's make this as resolved completed. Click on begin. Click on advance this case. This is also new status. Now see here, click on advance. So parent case P6, it came out of the wait. See here, if wait is completed, parent assignment 2, the cursor is pointed to parent assignment 2. See, the child case C13 is resolved completed. And C12 is still new because one of the child case is completed, any of the child case is completed. So parent case came out of the wait. All right. Any questions so far? Before I discuss about the scope configuration of the wait. Do you have any questions?
Karthik, in timer we have set 2 minutes, right? See, within 2 minutes, if case is not completed, will it automatically start the parent one, or like it will still wait?
It will see 2 minutes means it will wait for 2 minutes. Once the 2 minutes is completed, it will resume its processing. It will continue processing after 2 minutes.
Okay.
This is the meaning of that. So it simply says wait for 2 minutes. It will wait for 2 minutes. And it's processing. Coming to the scope, we'll discuss the scope, which is very important. And now assume that we have P1, child 1, and grandchild 1. Possible, right? Under P1, see these all these are right? Okay, let's take like this. We have C2, we have C3. Under C3, so parent 1 has 3 childs, and C2 has grandchild 1, grandchild 2, and C3 has grandchild 3. Okay, so this is possible, right? So no, this is possible. So under P1 also, you can have grandchild 1. This is also possible. Okay, so under grandchild 3, you can also create P1. This is also possible. Anything is possible. Okay, now assume that. Sorry, this is C4. Assume that weight shape is configured here. Weight shape. Weight shape C2 is waiting for grandchild till resolve completed. Till all wait all GCs grandchild to be resolved completed. Okay, this is the use case. Now, how many grandchilds are there? How many instances of grandchilds are there? Looking at this diagram. Hello.
3.
3 or 4. Grandchild 1, grandchild 2, grandchild 3, grandchild 4. Okay. So basically, wait all grandchilds till the C2 will wait till all grandchilds be resolved completely. This is the condition. Now, how many grandchilds are there in this entire transaction? So G1, sorry, GC1, GC2, GC3, comma GC4. There are 4 childs, right? Now, which grandchilds have to consider? Is the question. Which grandchilds do I need to consider? See, this is hierarchy, right? This is first level, this is second level, this is third level. So till which levels or in these 3 levels, what levels I have to consider? Is the question. See, G1, GC1, GC2, GC3 are in the current scope. So no, under C2, GC1, GC2, GC3 are. See, basically C2 is level 2 and GC1, GC2, GC3 are level 3 and GC4 is also in level 2 only. So no, hello. So now, which level I have to consider? So if the scope that which levels I have to consider is decided by scope. See how many scopes are there? There are 4 scopes: current scope, parent scope, top scope, and other scope. So now if I choose the scope as current scope, now tell me how many levels it will consider? Current of what? Current of C2. Weight shape is configured here. The scope is current scope. So it will look from here till the bottom. The shaded part. It will consider this. So in this shaded part, how many things are coming? How many grandchilds are coming?
3.
3.
What are those?
C1,
GC1,
C2, C3.
GC3. If these are satisfying this condition, this is all completed, then C2 will come out of the weight shape. Now, instead of current scope, I'll give parent scope. So for C2, what is parent? Level here. What is your parent level? P1, right?
P1.
So the scope is right from here. Now, how many grandchilds it will? It will see
Total 4.
4. GC4, GC1, GC2, and GC3. Once all these things are satisfied, then only C2 will come out of this. Now there is another top scope. So now see here C2 and before P1 there is one more. That before this also on top there is something called as grandparent 1. Under grandparent 1 also you have GC5. Assume that this is the use case. Now see here, C2 has a configuration of top scope. Top means it will go to the topmost case. Here topmost case is what? GP1, grandparent 1. So right from here, the scope is. So it will consider GC5, GC4, GC1, GC2, and GC3. So what type of child that you have to consider? If you have hierarchy of these things, so which instances have to consider or which cases have to consider is decided by scope. So basically scopes are divided into 4 types. So leave about the 4th one. So there are 3 scopes, that is current scope, parent scope, and top scope. So as per your configuration, it will consider the cases accordingly. This is scope. Got it? Any questions? See, very simple. So need not to break your heads for this to understand. So in real-time scenarios, any kind of configuration is possible. So at runtime, what cases I have to consider for weight? So that is decided by the score. So that's all about your weight shift. So try this scenario. You have to explore the weight shift in and out. So if you don't have any questions on weight shift, so we'll wind up for the day.
I'm good.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.